Okay. All
right.
Okay.
Here we are, you guys, to tell you about why we are so freaking different, because I've mentioned it so many times about how different we are. So we're just going to, tell you guys what we are doing right now, and it's all individualized with what our own personal goals are right now, because in the fitness part of us, we have different goals and tracks that we are trying to hit, and what you want to achieve, you have to take a different approach, whether it is with what you are eating and what you are taking supplement-wise, and how you are working out.
Your workout programming. Like she said, we're different. We're different people, but the big difference is our goals. Yeah. And so in this episode, we're definitely going to talk about, our focus is going to be on the different modalities of exercise that we are both a part of currently because of our current goals. We have also in other times of our life been a part of different modalities. It is all about your goal. That is what you need to pinpoint down when you start your fitness journey or you just start working out. What is your goal? Is it mobility? Is it longevity? Is it strength? Is it weight loss? Is it a competition? There's a multitude of things. So as we continue on and we talk about differences, that's what I mean by differences. Yes, we are different people. Everybody's going to be different.
Yeah.
But the important part is the different part of our workouts. So I'm going to let Trina start it off and talk about kind of what she's doing in her fitness.
Yeah. So I just want to reestablish, though, because I've said it before, about the morals to what your goals are still going to be the same. It's still going to dial down into your workouts, your nutrition, and then, yes, supplementation. But I put that last because that should be last. Just because you're taking a bunch of supplements and you have shitty are not even on track, not even that shitty, but the type of exercise that you do to reach a specific goal, it matters. And that's something I never really understood. I kind of just went into the gym and tried to do all these workouts that I saw other girls doing. And that is not how it is for what you are trying to achieve. So right now, it all
starts with the programming. So, like she said, don't let it fool you. Don't let media, don't let big companies tell you, oh, this supplement or this workout. It starts with your workout programming. So as we continue on, remember that. First is your workout programming to morph your body, okay?
So I'm just going to take it back a little bit because it kind of comes into play with what I'm doing right now. So about this time last year, I was working out just to feel good, just to shred down a little bit of fat, but just to feel good in a bikini because it's summertime. So then in November-ish, I finally was like, I want to get a butt. Every girl's dream is like, I want to get an ass. So I was like, finally educated that the only way to put on real muscle mass is to effectively bulk, I guess you would say, is to consume more calories than you are burning. So then you are lifting heavier so then you can put on more muscle mass. And that's what I wanted. I didn't want a fat ass. I wanted a muscular, nice, firmy butt. So I bulked and I went from 130 pounds to 150 pounds. Now that sounds dramatic, but it really wasn't.
Yeah.
I will try to pop in some photos maybe here of the difference as to what I looked like because I thought I was happy at 130 pounds. But now that I understand the difference in also what your goals are, I really don't care about scale weight. I care about the look.
Yeah.
So
I never look at the scale. We'll be dead honest. Sometimes I do, but as far as my progress, it's never determined by the scale. My progress is always determined on how do I feel, how strong am I, and how are my progress pictures. Because Trina's going to say, if she pops some pictures in, she will show you her body composition at 130 and her body composition at now.
Because I'm 136 now, and they're so different.
Yeah, but even when she's 150, you'll see differences, and I will bet you that you will point at that body that was 150 that weighs more, so you think you'd be unhappy, and you'd want that body more.
Yeah. I was really satisfied with where I got being at 150 and how much muscle mass I put on.
Yeah.
So then, of course, I started doing a little bit of dieting down for the summer because when you do bulk, you put on a little bit of fat. That's just how it happens no matter what. But you can still do it strategically where you aren't just getting this fat belly. So I wanted...
bulks.
Yeah, clean bulks. There we go. Clean bulks. It's a strategic thing too, and hopefully I'll get to share that next part this winter with you guys. But back to what I'm doing now. So then now in April to May-ish, I kind of started leaning down a little bit for myself to prepare myself for summer, and I started from 150 and I got myself down to like 138. So currently what I'm doing, first time ever, is prepping for a show.
Yes. That's so exciting.
Everyone gets so excited for me. Honestly, I wish I was that excited, but I'm so nervous. Like, I'm so educated on proper nutrition and supplementation and working out, but I'm still so nervous. And I want to tell you guys this just because I am acknowledged as to what I am doing, and even off season I could help myself because I know what I'm doing. I still have a coach. I still have someone, because this is a part in fitness that I never really have entered before. Prepping for a show is not the same as dieting down. It is no completely different. Like, even from the workouts to what you're eating are so completely different. So right now I have a coach. His name is Anthony. He is very educated in this side of fitness. Mm-hmm. And so I started about 5 weeks ago my prep, and I started in a surplus because, like I said, in April to May, I started cutting, then I got my calories so low. And when you are dieting down, you want to have a good effective amount to cut calories. When you are going to cut fat, you have to cut back in how much you're eating, because you want to burn more calories throughout the day than you're consuming. And the only two ways to do that is through movement and what you eat.
Yeah.
So
consumption.
I had to eat in a surplus for 2 weeks. So I went from about 138 to 140. Mm-hmm. That's good amount because you are going to eating more than what your body is used to. So of course you're going to put on a little bit. So I went from 140 to 140 in those 2 weeks to now I'm like 4 weeks into prep and I'm back down to 136. So I lost about 4 weeks or 4 pounds in 4 weeks. Yeah.
You lost 4 weeks and 4 pounds.
Okay, yeah, there you go. Which is reasonable because you want to lose about 1 to 2 pounds a week.
Yeah.
You never want it to be like dropping dramatically.
But again, different person, different goals. Trina was relatively fit when she started this. So
That's
when
true.
we're talking about competition, you were already very fit, relatively lean for the general population. So when we talk about dropping weight, for someone like Trina and I, okay, yeah, a couple pounds a week is great. So again, it's individual. If you have more to lose, each individual is different. But when you are leaner, you don't want to just drop 15 pounds 1 week. Not healthy.
Yeah, thanks for saying that, because I'm going to also retell you that prepping for a show is not healthy. Like to do it continuously, back to back to back to back to back. When you get down into like your last 3 to 1 weeks, I think you have to be mentally prepared, because I already mentally struggle. Like, I know the certain look that I want to be, and that's another thing too, is with my goals right now, when I was just like dieting down, I wanted to just feel good and look good in a bikini for myself.
Oh, yeah.
But right now I have to fit a certain look because that's what I'm going to be judged on, and that's mentally like draining. And so like a year ago maybe we did a mental
we did a mental video, not mental video, we did a mental health video on my YouTube.
And so taking those from what we talked about in that video and applying it to my life right now is very important, because it's mentally draining and it's physically draining. So right now in the gym, what my workouts look like is and this is how a big difference between me and Lena is that she
this is the biggest difference is right here with us. Yeah,
and I think we both noticed too, because I will show it you would have already seen it, our workouts.
Yep.
And I tried one of her workouts and she did one of mine, and we both were just like, what is happening? Like, we felt so out of shape.
Even though both of us work out at minimum like 5 days a week.
Yeah, but the workouts are so structured differently that right now, I used to be able to do her workouts, but right now my body's in such a different mindset. I'm doing high reps and very high sets. So I do on my leg days. Yeah, on my leg days, I do up to 30 reps, 4 sets, 6 sets of calf raises. Like, it's a lot of reps and sets, but you're also doing lower weight, which is different from what she'll explain to her workouts. So right now I'm working on exhaustion of muscles. I'm working on getting as much fat loss as I can. So you want your heart rate to be high the entire workout of my workouts.
Yeah. And your body's shaping and sculpting right now.
Yeah.
That is your goal.
I'm not trying to put muscle on.
No.
and I'm trying to get rid of all the fat around all those muscles that I'm working out. That is my goal right now. So then those muscles that I did work for during bulking season can be more defined. So that's where my goal is. And eventually I'm eating right now about 1,500 calories. And another thing is I can set my calories, I can set my diet for me when I'm not on prep. But right now, I have someone set it for me because they can view things differently. Having someone look at you in a different perspective, especially in this manner, is very important. You want someone to strategically, who is knowledge to guide you through this.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that I wouldn't be able to, but to maximize my potential, I want that extra help.
You're just aware of, okay, again, we're talking about we're not experts. She's aware that she's not an expert in bodybuilding. So she's seeking an expert in bodybuilding to help her compete here. And she's gaining knowledge along the way. So like she said, she could do the research herself and she can maybe do a diet together.
And
but
I
it's
could
all
easily
about
diet down myself.
But it's all about using your assets to your advantage. And so the workouts, the diet, everything right now is centered towards her goal of bodybuilding, or her bikini competition. There's a bunch of different categories in it, but it's body sculpting and building, and so that's what everything in hers is geared towards around. And we did her workout the other day, and I used to do workouts like that because when I got removed from college, that was my goal, was to go do a competition. So I had a friend hook me up with a programming, and that was very similar to what I was doing, but I have not done that in like 2 years. So when you see the videos, I look like a drowned rat in the video because I have this nice, like, glistening, soaking wet hair from sweating my butt off. I mean, I'm in a sweatshirt, so I did that to myself a little bit, but super high reps. I'm a totally different workout camp right now. I'm in shape in that camp, but as far as doing her workouts, it was difficult. But the thing was, it was nice to know what she's going through. If I'm going to be someone that's helping her and pushing her to reach her goals, how am I to do that if I don't understand what she's going through right now? So that's kind of why we're also doing that as well. So yeah, she's high reps, a lot of isolation, hypertrophy, a lot of things that are very controlled and concise. Then there's me. So, as I kind of talked about before, is I am going back into firefighting. It's been my kind of life's goal. I've taken a couple wrong turns around the way, but I'm back into it. And with that, as you see, I am a woman of not very tall height. I'm about 5'1".
But you're gonna need to carry some heavy shit.
Yeah. I'm 5'1", but you know what that means? That means I just have to work a little extra bit harder to accomplish what I need to get done. Because if I'm gonna do a job like that, like she said, I gotta carry some heavy stuff. I gotta carry some heavy people. I have to be physically prepared. So my goals and my focus right now are strength. That is what I'm about. Obviously, as a girl, I don't want to be fat. So I'm not gonna be bubble gut powerlifter. Sorry, no offense to people that do that, but that's not my goal. I'm obviously still watching my diet. I'm still maintaining what I like as a physique, but my main goal in my workouts is to strength.
Yeah, but you're also going to have to be eating more than me because there's no way that you could consume the amount of calories that I'm eating and what the type of foods that I'm eating and get the muscle and strength that you are going to want to build. Exactly. There's no way your muscles can handle all of that.
And that's just more about like what I fuel my body with. So I might be in a caloric surplus compared to what Trina is right now, but I'm still fueling my body with clean foods, with I'm not a ton of sugar, not a ton of additional fat. I'm not overloading in carbohydrates. I'm still timing them better. I'm still being mindful. So even though my goal is strength, when I'm with my diet, I'm still mindful. What I'm doing currently with diet is I'm more doing what I would call like intuitive eating. So I'm paying attention to what I'm eating. I'm enjoying life on certain days, but not fully a meal. I'm not counting calories, but I'm still tracking because I know what they are.
But I think the only way to be successful in intuitive eating is to previously have counted calories and to be educated on how much foods actually are. Like
100%.
Lena is very educated and has before past history counted calories. Yeah. She can look at a plate and roughly guesstimate how many calories, how many proteins, how many fats, how many carbs are going to be on that plate. And that is beneficial when it comes to intuitive eating because she knows she's not going to overeat.
Yeah. And as far as like macronutrients goes, obviously the 3 macronutrients are going to be fats, proteins, and carbohydrates. And right now, my goal that I hit for my macro that I like to ensure that I get is my protein. Because if you don't get protein, you can't grow the other protein. Like your booty, your arms, whatever it is for your strength that you want. So,
but the same is this. Exactly the same. That mine is protein will always come first because you can't lose fat without getting the efficient amount of protein to do so.
So protein is the godsend. So as far as my workouts go right now, that completely differs from Trina is, again, I'm in the strength camp. I am low reps, high weights. So I'm lifting heavy. I'm doing 4 to 5 like exercises within my workout. I'm doing more of like a 4x5. And I'm pushing my weight. I'm pushing my limits. I'm taking more time in between my sets because
mine are all timed. Yeah, I have like a 30-second break, but this is because I want my heart rate staying up. Versus her, every single time she does that set, she's gonna want to do them to the maximum that you possibly can.
I want to give my body the best recovery I can to continually use and push that weight and continue to go up. So my rest points right now are about 2 minutes apart. And sometimes I need to get out of there. They're more like a minute, but I'm still taking more time than she is. Lower reps, heavier weights, and I do about 4 or 5 exercises within my workout. And it still gives me about an hour and a half, and it pushes you really hard. And also, I'm a little bit more functional fitness right now. I'm not isolating as much. Obviously, when you do a squat or something like that, you're going to feel particular muscle groups, particular muscle recruitment. But I'm also doing things like sleds that you'll see us do. Sleds. You'll see me do different types of squats. You'll see me do more functional things. But that's because my goal right now is to get strong and be functional in my career.
Yeah.
And so that is my goal. That's what I'm pushing forward towards. And like she said, with eating, I have to make sure I consume enough food, but it's good food. So I'm not in a deficit right now. I'm obviously trying to maintain my body. I've lost weight because guess what? Muscle will make you look better at any fat content. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah, you ever see them guys who are like, 300 pounds, but pure muscle. You know how much the men eat? And that's because to fuel and keep up with the amount of muscle that your body wants, that your body has gained, you have to feed it effectively. So the more you feed that muscle, the more that muscle fights to stay alive and on the body, which means the body will then work harder burning fat and other sources to utilize itself. So
and as for me, like she said, she works with a coach right now for her physique competition. For me, I don't have a particular coach. I've lifted my whole life. Strength has always been my camp that I love and everything I ran back to. So as I kind of jump back into this journey, because I did fall off the wagon. It's always okay to fall off the wagon. It's just always getting back onto it.
So have I.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just always get back on. So I decided to jump back into career, into my favorite workouts, and I'm just using a specific programming. Again, I could have programmed my own workouts because I have the knowledge to do that, but I decided to go with a program that they have things all set out for me for 3 months. So that was what I decided to go with, a strength program. Loving it. It's perfect. But I knew what I wanted, and I set that goal for myself and started getting back into the gym with my functional movements, and then I started a program. So that's the important part to remember too, is be mindful of your goals, be mindful of where you're at physically, because there's been times that I remember my old college self and I was lifting 300 pounds in my back squat easily. I can't do that anymore, and I have to be mindful of that. So don't just jump back into what you did before at the same weight you did before. It's okay to go back to back squat. Don't roll that weight on there.
That's exactly what's going to happen to me, because I'm not going to lift heavy like she has, which I was before I started dieting down for this competition. I'm not going to go throw in 8 weeks. I'm not going to go throw the weight that I used to be doing 16 weeks before that back on. Your body changes dramatically. Your body composition, the muscle mass composition, it changes. And that mind and muscle connection also changes. Your body forgets. It adapts really fast and it forgets really fast. 100%. So I'm going to have to then work my ass off again to get to the amount of weight that I was lifting before.
Yeah, so you just be mindful of your body, be mindful of your goals, and always, always, always do the healthy thing for yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, like Trina said, competition prep's not healthy, but right now, mentally, this is what's healthy for her because she wants to accomplish something. She has this goal in her mind, and so this is mentally healthy for her. So always be sure that your health is in mind when you are working out, you are part of dieting, you're eating a specific way. Always have that in focus.
Yeah, 100%. I like that way that you worded that, because same thing with anything. I could not probably go do powerlifting right now because I'm mentally not ready for that. Just like I probably a year ago would not have been in a mental state to be dieting down for competition, and here we are now a year later, probably ready. So your mental state matters
100%. So that's the different camps we're in right now. She's doing bodybuilding and I'm doing strength. So heck yeah, that's what we got for now. And I bet you check in a few months, that'll definitely change.
Oh yeah, 100% definitely change. So here we are.
Yep, here we go. Bye guys.
Okay everybody, so we're going to do a day of eating with me. We're going to start off with the coffee. So in the coffee is going to be 2 shots of espresso. We're going to do oat milk and then an Optavia hot chocolate. I really like this because it's like a breakfast. 110 calories, only 13, or not only, but 13 grams of protein and 1 gram of fat. The oat milk is probably the best substitute as far as regular milk, in my opinion. That's just as far as taste. So I froth those 2 together, and that's what I'm putting in there.
Easy to
and
fall
I'm going
off
to dump it
track.
in my 2 shots of espresso. I like it because it's a little bit more than just coffee in the morning, but it's healthy. So really kind of, I know it's what you know, it's probably like full enough, but not too full. Show you my meal that I had about an hour and a half after. It's just going to be 2 eggs fried, 3 pieces of bacon, and 1 kiwi. And, of course, some hot sauce. You got to add some good flavor to it. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward, just a good macro complex. And I'll track this in my app after. I think this was definitely one of my favorite meals of the day. So we started off with some mixed veggies, some spaghetti squash, tilapia, and sweet potatoes. Super simple. I felt amazing after this food. Like, this is definitely going to be one of my go-to combos while I'm doing this right now. Just super simple. Oh, heck yeah. Pickles. These are the snack right here, man. These little suckers, when I'm ever like hungry or think I'm hungry, I will always go to get some pickles. Super low calorie. I like the little ones because they're crunchy, but this is my go-to snack. Yeah, 0 calories. Come on now. I can get over that one. Okay, next you're going to see like my dinner. Of course, I'm going to start off with my AHA. Those are my kind of go-to waters when I get bored of drinking regular water. This one I had put some sriracha on top, but mixed veggies kind of grilled up. I have a chicken thigh that I pre-cooked, and then a cup of rice. I'm making sure that everything's laid out. As far as the rice goes, that's protein rice, so I make it with bone broth instead of water. Again, going back to my chicken, throw a little sriracha on. Okay, next I'm going to show you this kind of concoction I drank midway through the day because I wanted something sweet. So it's going to start off with a cup of cranberry juice, this San Pellegrino drink that I added in there, And then my recharge, so that's my creatine supplement, even on days that I'm not lifting necessarily. This is after a long walk, so I did work out. Important when you're doing supplements, look at the small list of ingredients. So I added that in there. And then I added my OptiGreens. Again, this was kind of like a sweet treat for me. I like the whole combination together. You didn't have to do the cranberry juice because the recharge is a good flavor to it anyway. But I like to mix it all up. Then we're going to go to snack time. I want something chocolatey. So we're going to take a look again. I'm going to use another Optavia product. This is going to be the Optavia Drizzled Chocolate. Again, only about 110 calories, 11 grams of protein, and 3 grams of fat. Again, we're going to go with a little bit of snack time. So I was watching some TV. I wanted some Skinny Pop. So I get the Skinny Pop sea salt or this. And the final thing to hit my macros that I chose was the Smoky Barbecue Crunchers. 110 calories, 11 grams of protein. These little bad boys, amazing. Okay, lastly, I'm going to show you my tracked for the day. So this is my tracker right here. As you can see, I did hit underneath my carbohydrates, a little over in fats. The one that I hate that I missed was proteins. I got 123, almost 124, which is good, but my goal is 175. We're over in fats. That's just probably because of what I consumed and what I cook with when I do my stuff. Not terrible. And then the one I'm proud of is staying under in the carbohydrates goal, just because I am having problems with carbs and my body digesting them. So being on that one was good for me. That was my macros. And then as I'm trying to find here, and we're scrolling up trying to get in place. So I tracked everything at night. That's kind of what I do, is as I go, I track. So I was under my calorie goal. And as you can see here on the bottom, I'm tracking everything, all my lunch, all my serving sizes, stuff like that. This goal was created by the macro calendar that I showed on my story, which I can link wherever. But yeah, this is my go-to. These are my snacks. This is everything I track in a day.
These battle scars don't look like the fade, don't look like they're ever gone away. They ain't never gonna change. These battles.
Growing up, I had a dream, something no one else could see. Tell me what it means when your faith is falling beneath your knees and you can't breathe. Everything you see reminds you of what you're not or something you won't be. You gotta take what you're given, that's how we live it. Don't be mad at the system, it's simply how we've existed. I hear a lot of people talking like they politicians and choose to be an accountant because it's safe in a business.
For breakfast, I'm eating 3 poached eggs with some oatmeal, gluten-free, blueberry hazelnut, and then I also attach the macros to this. This is my everyday breakfast. So Lena did a full day of eating as to like what she eats breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and how she cooks it and all that fun stuff. Unlike Lena, I meal prep and I cook all my foods and they eat exactly the exact same thing every single week, every single day. So instead of me following through what I do breakfast, lunch, and dinner, I'm just going to take you through a full day of meal prepping. So yeah, here we go.
You gotta take what you're given, that's how we live it. Don't be mad at the system, it's simply how we've existed. I hear a lot of people talking like they politicians and choose to be an accountant because it's safe in a business. Not because they wanna do it, just because they heard it pays. And who the fuck wants to be poor knowing that's how we've been raised? Society is getting heavy, I can feel the weight. The pressure of success is like 100 million pounds of shame. And that's the reason I'm staying up late, trying to find a way to escape the stereotypes this day and age is making me feel like the only way I'll be happy is getting signed to a label and making money through rapping. I wanna share my emotion because this world is attacking the very principle of life that lets the people be happy. If you don't have a reason to breathe, why even live? These battle scars are impressions of everything that it is.
Don't look like the fade, don't look like they're ever gone away. They ain't never gonna change. These battle scars don't look like they're fading, don't look like they're ever gone away. They ain't never gonna change. These battles.
Now, if I had a voice that reached 100 million people, I'd tell them there's a reason that we're all created equal. Cause some decide to be great and some decide a sequel to an average person's life is simply what they want to be. So you make your decision, all I know is what I'm given. Won't define the life I lead or the way I dwell in existence. I've seen a greater image on the walls of where I'm living, and the words twisted and scripted remind me of something written. Faith is a gift that is given down to the people. If one believes it, one receives it. It's given if it is needed. Don't ever think you're trapped in a life that you never wanted. Your options are infinite, that's some mathematical logic. I'm not saying I'm a prophet, I'm speaking for what it's worth. These lyrics define my prayers and these battle scars on my church. Not saying I'm a prophet, I'm speaking for what it's worth. These lyrics define my prayers, these battle scars on my church.
Right now are sweet potatoes and rice. So I'm going to put all that together. I use a scale when I prep my food, so I measure everything out in ounces. You want to try to stay consistent, measuring your food in the same measurement, and if it's cooked or non-cooked, I do all of mine cooked, so I measure everything out and put it into my fancy dancy little bowls here, and I'll show you what that all looks like after I'm done doing that. So yeah, I will go ahead and share.
Alright, you guys, this is what it's looking like. So this is on top of my breakfast that I had, plus my workout protein and meal replacement protein. But as far as whole foods, so we're looking at.
I'm not saying I'm a prophet, I'm speaking for what it's worth. These lyrics define my prayers and these battle scars on my church. Not saying I'm a prophet, I'm speaking for what it's worth. These lyrics define my prayers, these battle scars on my church.